total commitment. And when those things start to fall, and then what happens, right? You start feeling really bad about yourself. Okay? And then what happens, Ian, is Primerica starts to become a punishment, which this should never be a punishment. Okay? Primerica should never, ever be. You know, my wife and I, we were talking. I think we were talking to my wife's very, very insightful. I mean, even though she may not do the business like I do the business and as much as I do the business, but she was helping somebody, and you know, she was like, and they said something, and she just said it very matter of factly. She goes, oh no. People fight. You know, we're talking about partners and stuff like that. She goes, but Primerica is never the reason that people fight. That's just a lie. She's basically implying, right? This is whatever's going on in your head has nothing to do with Primerica. Always remember that. That's in your head. You made that up. Whatever's going on in your personal life, Primerica does not have anything to do with that. As a matter of fact, 99%, if you didn't have Primerica, it'd be a million times worse. People fight, they fight. If I fight with my wife, that has nothing to do with Primerica and the meetings and the books and the audios I'm listening to. That has nothing to do with that. And you always have to remember that. So, you know, I had a little bit of an attitude shift with recruiting recently, and just kind of remembering and going back to it. So this the whole point is this, okay? So, you know, we talk about ratios, right? And we always want to know the ratios. We want to know, okay, you know, like for me, when I built my business, and I called a lot. I called top 25 lists. I called resumes, things like that. And for every 10 calls I made, eventually I would book one recruit. So if I made 50, I get 5 commitments, usually for interviews. Okay, so if I made 50 calls, 5 people would say yes. If I made 100 calls, 10 people say yes. And the more calls I made, John, the more people called back, so the numbers actually were better. So if I made 60, sometimes I get 8. Okay? But on average, Perez, if I made 10 calls, I got 1 interview. And for me, about 50% of my interviews showed up. So if I said 20, about 10 would come. Maybe a little less. And rock solid, John, every 4 people that came in, I'd get 1 recruit. Okay? So 4 guests, 1 recruit. And those were my numbers. And I was telling this on Monday, you know, so you have, you know, and I'm not trying to do math on you, but you have a, you know, in a percentage or a ratio, right? Like say, for example, you have, you know, 1 recruit per 4 guests, right? Right? What is that? 25%. 25%. Okay? So naturally, Dante, the smart people in Primerica, we say what? How can I get to 50%? Out of the 4, let me get 2. Right? Which is that's a very logical thing. Okay? As a self-employment mentality, it's an employee mentality, is how can I get better percentages? Okay? Which is the absolute wrong question to ask. That is the number 1 question, right? So in a fraction, you have a numerator and a denominator, right? The denominator is your number of attempts here. The numerator is successful, right? So the real question is, how can I get this up? How can I get the number up of attempts? So if I went to 40, I would, in essence, get 10. But because you went through 40, you get really good. And it's like Novocaine, you actually become a little more numb to rejection. You know, Hector Lamarck talks about that all the time in his old audios about, you know, you don't like it because you get rejected. And oh, no, I'm fine with rejection. That's not true. That's not true. We hate it. it is the most perplexing, frustrating, annoying, bothersome thing in Primerica is when you give a great presentation, you gave commitments, this person's perfect, they say no. And we're wondering what we could have said, and all that stuff is important, but really, this is the number one thing, is how many people I can present to, how many appointments I can do. And I told a story about my son. You know, my son is 7, and you guys know I try to put my son in as many activities, as many sports as possible, because I want to see what he likes. And I don't care, he can try anything, he can't quit until the season is over, but after that, if he doesn't want to go back, he doesn't have to go back. But you're going to finish it, and then we'll determine. And there are some things that my son is really, really bad at. He's just not good at it. The coordination isn't there, and some of the kids are really good, so he feels intimidated. But there are some things that he's really good at. Very good swimmer, good at tennis, very good bike rider, very good with Legos, obviously, academically, math, science, out of this world. It's so funny that the things that he's naturally good at, he wants to do, and the other ones he doesn't want to do. Just like already as a kid. And so you ask him to do something, hey, let's do it. And he doesn't just say, no, I'm not good at it. He's already getting smart about it. I'm tired. Oh, my stomach hurts. And already. And so we can say whatever we want. You can justify anything you want, and you might be terrible. It doesn't matter. You go do 50 presentations, you're going to get good. You know, Larry Weidel, when he moved to North Carolina, he said, I gave my presentation to 500 people. Let's see in 2018. I want to say, you in your own heart, see if you could present to 500. It's 10 a week. See if you could present to 500 people. Imagine if you presented to 500 people where your business would be. See, it doesn't matter what happens after the first 10 or 20 or 30 or 40. That doesn't matter. I was telling the group on Monday, you know, my upline, right? The original upline was Brett Burks, right? And he got terminated from the company. Some people in this company think Brett was the best recruiter ever in this company. Some people think that. He still wasn't a good recruiter. He still had the same percentages that I had. See, some people think like, oh, you're a great recruiter. I don't care how good you are. You're only going to recruit 2 or 3 out of 10. I was in Brett's meetings. We grew this business together. You were there, right? Dante, right here. We split op meetings, right? How many people would be at Brett's meeting? 10. How many was at ours? Right? He wasn't great. You running high numbers? That's all that matters. That's not a knock on anybody. I don't care how good freaking Larry Weidel, what did he say? He didn't say, oh, I can close 9 out of 10 recruits. No, he said, I gave my presentation to 500 people. Andy Young went on a run too. He said, oh, I don't know what the number is. 600 people in 30 days. Whatever he said. I don't know. It was some crazy number. Anybody know that story? Yeah. What is it? And how long? He didn't say, man, I prospected, what? 700 people in 20 days. I don't care how good you are, you're still bad. You still suck. You're still not a good recruiter in terms of percentages and how good it is. You just go through high numbers and you have a great attitude through doing it. And the last thing I'll tell you is like, you know, you do an interview, I interview Josh, I bring Josh in, I got to come into the office, I got to dress up, I shave, and I do an interview, right? And it might even disrupt my schedule. My lunch is a little late. I wanted to do a couple things. I had some emails I wanted to respond to. And I meet with Josh, and I go long, and he has a lot of questions, and he's not interested. What naturally do I think? I wasted my time. Okay? Let me tell you something. Recruiting is all wasting time. That's all you're ever going to do. you're always going to be wasting time. Most guests don't join. Most interviews don't come back. Most orientations don't set an appointment. Most people don't get licensed. If you're not ready for that, you're not ready to build a business. Now, I'm using the term wasting time. Other people say going through the numbers. Other people say going through no's till you get the yes. Thomas Edison would say, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I just figured out what didn't work 10,000 times. So until I find my LeBron James, Cleveland is, like the Browns, that's what the Cavs were. Right? We know how bad the Browns are, right? I mean, how bad it's like, did they ever win a game? It's like in the last 3 years, they're like 1-30, right? 1-4. That's how bad the Cavaliers were. The Cavs had the #1 pick. I think it was like 6 years in a row. You get LeBron. Now it's like the Cavs. Where are the Cavs fans? Cavs fans. I like the Cavs. Like the Cavs weren't. They should have been contracted as a franchise. That's how bad they were. Now everybody's a Cavs. Like even if you go to these kids, right? They love the Cavs. Like LeBron James has changed the Cavaliers forever. And you know what it reminds me of? I see all these Saints fans. Because of Drew Brees, that 1 year. Saints. The Saints. Who likes the Saints? The Aints, man. That's what we used to call them. Aints, right? Isn't that what we used to call them? We never call them the Saints, they were calling them the Aints. Now they're everywhere. People, good for them. Hey, Drew Brees is a great dude, man. Like, if you like it, it's just funny to me. That 1 year of winning can change your whole thing. 1 year. These are franchises that are terrible forever, man. No, man. Look, you're going to waste a lot of time. You're going to go through a lot of numbers. We're thinking the wrong way. And I used to tell people when I went to Florida, right, the decision I made, and Ricky, you know this, I said, what? I was going to do every interview. Remember? I said, I don't care. Because what I would do is, this is when I got smart, I was like, right? I think she'll like it. Ricky, I think they're Spanish. The name's Richmond Brittingham. I don't think they're Spanish. I think they do. I said something like they were born in Mexico or something. Okay. Right? Pawning it off. I don't want to waste my time. You're not ready to recruit. You're not ready. And I said this on Monday. This is me talking to myself and telling you, when you want to go on a run to recruit, don't worry about efficiency and percentages. Now, yes, work in the right market. Okay? What am I talking about, Jen?
The right market.
What do you mean? Right? If you introduce me to the person and they're not all there, okay? If you bring them to Saturday training and they're sleeping on the floor during appointment setting time, why you laugh? Because it happened. It is fun. And look, we all have that, right? I have stories of that for days, okay? Ask Samir about Jeffrey. Anybody ever seen Ask You Larry? The fellowship? We had one of those. I mean, this dude used to come into training, okay? He wore, I think he was, this is like 20 years ago, he wore joggers. So he was the first one. He started the jogger trend. But he used to come in, and we always, I mean, his lips were so white. We're like, what is he doing? And he was crazy, man. So we did a fast start school with Bob Safford, and Tom Safford did that. You remember? Do you remember Jeffrey? No, you didn't remember Jeffrey. It was early on, but ask Samir about it. I mean, this dude he went up to the speaker and goes, "Hey, man, you're a silver spoon." Because you were born with a silver spoon. Because that's Bob Sapp. It was like, I was so embarrassed. Nothing will be more embarrassing than that. Okay? And I'm like grabbing the dude, right? I mean, one time at Brett's event in Orlando, some dude asked Glenn Williams for money. Do you remember that? Glenn was not the CEO at the time. He was like the president. And he asked him, he's like, hey, can I have some money? And Glenn gave him money. He goes, that's a first. Like, it was like, I mean, it literally, he gave him money. It was fun. Like, we were just like so embarrassed. So, look, we can make fun, okay? I'm not saying, like, if you recruit people, it does happen, okay? But let's be a little sensible, okay? And one thing I'm working with Jen, and everybody should think this, not corporate stiffies, but we should recruit up. You know, when you recruit the right person that wants more out of life, that's willing to pay a price, that thinks a little bit differently, that's funny, motivated, that has goals, this business gets really fun. When you're begging people to work and begging people, and that's okay. Hey, I'll give you a pat on the back, I'll give you a kick on the butt. I'm not going to beg you though. I'll talk you off the ledge, and I'll carry your bags for you. But I'm not going to beg you. I don't love your kids. I should not love your kids more than you. And I should not want more. But I will. Hey, man, are you okay? What's going on? Do you need my help? And I'll do that. And nothing is beneath me in that regard. But we need to find people that want to win. They want to be part of something special. They want to walk in on a championship team. They're willing to sacrifice and pay the price and commit and personally develop and show up and hang in the batter's box and stay tough and take all those things. And then it gets fun when you recruit the right people. That's all. Doesn't mean that they have to have a degree or, doesn't mean any of that. And I mean that. Most of us don't. Okay? So, I wanted Shondell and Tiffany, and I don't know if you can go first, I guess, Shondell. Different ways for prospecting. Obviously, the climate has changed, right? And pause this for a second. Okay. Pause. So, I rented a movie. Would you want to come over? Yes. Woo! Is that true? It's just like, man, but if you had to do that face to face, it's like, you're done. Man, you're done. You just quit. I'm done. I'll never go through that experience again. But with this semester, it's like the law of large numbers. Just 20 out. Hey, do you want to hang out tonight? Hey, you sent this to my roommate. We're sitting right here. What? Got hacked. Matt Peterson hacked me. It kind of like reminds me of like Facebook prospecting. It's like you can just send messages. I remember when I was on Facebook for like 6 months, but I just got way too distracted. I started stalking people. I just like, I'm not gonna go. But some people even messaged me. Hey, I don't know if it was Primerica or it was another opportunity. What's the message? You just get a message, you read it, right? And so what I'm trying to say, through all the jokes, okay, people prospect different ways. I never liked face-to-face prospecting. Now, I'm not saying I did it. I did it a lot because I wanted to find out what I liked and what I didn't. And I prospected as I go. But I told Ricky this. Face-to-face prospecting for me, I just wasn't great at it. And that's okay. You don't have to. Some people, Samir was really good at it. Dante was really good at it. They were great at it. They go through numbers, they get numbers, they recruit up. I was really good on the phone. I was a phone freaking assassin. I was a killer on the phone. I'd go on the phone 3-4 hours a day. I felt great. I got so many people to come out. I'd answer objections. I'd recruit people. I'd go through it. That was just my thing. Some of you guys can do different things. Hey, I'm not saying that Facebook worked for you. Okay, Facebook didn't work for me, meaning I just didn't like Facebook. But some people, right, Matt was telling me, some of the kids today, they don't even have people's phone numbers. They just have their Facebook. Oh, what do they say? I don't have their Facebook, I have their Instagram. I don't have their phone number, I have their Snap. Right?
Yeah.
So, you just got to change with the game, man.
Yeah.
There's different ways. And like I said, the jokes I was saying, there's a little truth to it in the fact that maybe for some of you, you can do more and reach out to people, right, Tara? You can reach out to 40, 50 people, and it's just clicking, and then what's the most you're going to get? Hey, is this okay, man? Don't call me again. Okay, who cares? It's not like I see you face to face, right? Because sometimes you get rejected face to face, you might fight. Right, T? I remember T calling me one time, he's like, yo, Shaq, move up and get locked up. Right? He's pissed. I was like, dude, come back to the office, man. He's like, ah, man. I was like, T, relax, man. He's like, nah, man. You know, I mean, he was really freaking mad. And I get mad too, but I mean, this was like, yo, take a cold shower, dude. Like, haven't you been like that?
Yeah.
And so some people, it's just like, you got to put yourself in the right position, right? You just got, you know, like, some people just, they're not face-to-face people. That's just what they're not. I was not like that. I did the same thing too, right? I'm trying to face-to-face people, and I just get so confrontational with people, and I just be getting angry for like an hour after. And I'm like, well, you work here. You suck, you know? Right? And just start, I'm just being honest with you, right? But the phone, I was just a little bit better. I'd gotten better results. This is just another way. But I'll tell you, if you can't do this, if you can't send 40 messages a day to try to diversify, you may not be able to recruit people. This is kind of easy prospecting, in my opinion. It's like spamming. Right? Is it? Just messages. Send. Right? Now, if what you're doing is, I know you're at 5 recruits, right? And you do top 25s, right? So maybe you do it face-to-face, bring them in. Don't change what you're doing. Do more of it. But this could maybe, you get a Mike Doby, you recruit Mike, and he's just not good with that stuff, but he has a lot of Facebook contacts and he thinks he can see himself doing that. It's good, a good way to equip your team, right? You got to be able to equip, because everybody's going to do different things, right? A lot of you guys can't do what I did. Make 3 hours of calls a day and then knock on doors 6 days a week. I don't think you should do it. So, hey, you know, Josh, maybe you go face to face. Josh is more, Josh, his skill in life is what? You can talk to anybody, right? You will approach almost anybody. Freaking let those guys go loose. That might not be you, right? So when you hear this, right, try it out. See if it works for you. See if you get results. Because Jim Coker told me the best thing when it came to prospecting, you need to find 3 things that you will actually do. And for a wuss, for a scaredy cat, for a chicken, maybe Facebook's the way to go, right? I'm a chicken, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it like, you know, Ish, you have Facebook? Can you send 40 messages a day? I know you check 40 people a day. That's what Facebook is, right? Isn't that what you do? Hey, who liked this comment? That's what I was doing. It's like, wow, a lot of likes. Let me see. She liked it.
Right.
You can't send 40, but this is what I'm not saying, I'm not making fun. This is what I did. Oh, what did she do? What did he do? Oh, wow, the food was spicy. Okay. What? I've been on Facebook for 4 hours? I'm being serious. So you can send 40 messages, man. You can send 40 messages. So Shondel's going to come up to Tiffany. You can kind of piggyback after her. Just talk for a few minutes about what you're doing. Let's give it up. How many recruits you got? 7 recruits, 1 today. Josh, 5. I know that. But you got a bunch of Facebook recruits from that over the previous couple of months, right? Let's give it up for Shondel Dobie.
You want to bring the script up? Okay.
Yeah. So, I know I did training on this back in November, I think, because last month I got 3 directs from Facebook. So, it's just another form of prospecting. It's not, there's nothing too fancy about it. It's literally spamming, like Shaq was saying. So, for me, typically what I do is just attempt to send out at least 50 messages a day. And you just gotta stay consistent with it.
Okay, you heard that, right? How many? 50 messages a day.
Right, and you just gotta stay consistent with it. I know I'm picking up tips because I know I didn't really introduce it all the way, Tara did, but I'm just picking up tips, talking to people about what they're doing and how they're doing it. So for me, I just send messages to random people. I don't friend them. I just send messages to random people. Some people send messages to their friends. They go A to Z, and they're just sending out messages that way. I haven't tried that yet, so I can't really talk about that. But for me, what I do is, does everybody have a Facebook app on their phone? No. Right. So, and then you usually will get Messenger, because then you can use Messenger on your phone. For me, what I do is I go to my profile and I try to kind of make it specific, so it's not just anybody that I'm messaging. So if you have your profile, on your profile, if you list where you live, on the app, if you're looking on your phone, and it, for me it says Sterling. So if I hit Sterling on my profile, it literally brings up a list of everybody that lives in Sterling on Facebook, right? So then I just go through that. And so I kind of ran through all the people that came up on that list in Sterling. So now you think about different ways where you can go about it. So she was like, hey, college students are really good. I'm getting a lot of good responses from college students. So I was like, okay, let me type in George Mason. So then you type in George Mason and brings up a list like that. So you literally could be specific on who you want to actually target. And it could get a little time consuming going through and being like, oh, I already messaged that person. Oh, I already messaged that person. But you just keep doing it. And I mean, you could do it all throughout the day. I figured out that you can send more than 50 messages a day from Shay if you just separate the time. So if you do a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the afternoon, a little bit in the evening, you can probably send out 150 messages in a day. So it just really depends on what you're doing. It's really not that hard. It's just copying and pasting. So this is my message that I sent. When I first started, I used to put my phone number at the end, and then I started to realize that's probably not too smart. So I took out my phone number, but this is the message. Hey, Mike, I help run a financial firm in the DC metro area, and I'm currently networking, looking for some key people for part-time work. You scrolled across my People You May Know tab. I don't know if you keep your options open, but if you do, let me know the best contact number to reach you at so I can put some more information in your hands. Thanks. So with that, it's pretty simple. It tells them what it is that I do. It's a financial firm, and I'm looking for people for work. And then the People You May Know tab, that's something that kind of creates a connection between you and that person, right? So there is an actual, on Facebook, a tab that says, hey, you may know this person. Usually that connection is made because you have some friends with them, or you like some things that they like on Facebook, and it kind of links them up. So now when they see that, hopefully they're like, oh, this person might know somebody that I know. Let me see if I can talk to them. So that's the original message. Then, just like any other type of prospecting, you get objections, right? People want you to email them. People want you to tell them everything over the message. For me, I want to try to get off Facebook Messenger as quickly as possible. So I don't want to have long conversations with them. Sometimes you can't get over that, but you want to try to get them off and get the number so you can have a conversation over the phone. So usually, back in the day, I don't think you actually had to accept a Facebook message. Nowadays, if you're not a friend with somebody, they have to accept it before they even see it. So what I'm starting to realize is that you might have to send a lot more messages because not everybody's accepting it. I think it kind of goes to a different inbox. And if they're not friends with you, they might have to check that. I'm not sure, but they have to accept it before they see the message. So you got to run through some numbers. So once they accept it, I say, hey, Mike, thanks for accepting my request, or thanks for accepting my message. Are you actually keeping your options open for work? Right? And they respond. These are some things that I usually get. What's the name of the company? I do the same thing I do on the phone when I'm prospecting people face to face. I don't want to say the company name right away. So I say, hey, I run an independent firm with me and my husband. We partner with great companies like AIG, MetLife, Lincoln Financial, American Funds. Sometimes people have heard of those companies. That adds little credibility without having to get into too much. I'm not interested in work. If they say that, you still want to prospect through them. They may know people. You never know. So I always ask, okay, thanks. Even if you're unable to work or look at the opportunity for supplemental income or know anybody else, would you be open to a complimentary consultation on how to become financially independent, right? So just like if you're prospecting out and about and you talk to someone about the opportunity, they say, oh, I'm busy, I don't have time. Oh, well, I mean, have you ever had someone sit down with you and talk to you about your finances, right? Or when you're door knocking, has anyone ever done any financial work for you? Do you have a financial plan right now? It's just ways to prospect still, maybe now, on the client side. I provide a financial education to people without having to charge a fee per hour visit. Would you be open to that? I don't know anybody in that field. That's a big thing. When I say it's a financial brokerage, everybody right away says, oh, I don't have any experience in finance. Do they have to have that background? Do they have to have a degree? No. So my response is that's fine. I tend to hire many professionals. I say professionals in other industries because that gives you credibility. I'm not just hiring anybody, right? So professionals in other industries or backgrounds because they're very open to supplemental income as long as it's flexible and around their schedule and they don't have to make a full-time career change. Would you be open to learning more? So from Tara, when I was speaking with her, she said, always ask a question at the end, right? Sometimes I got into the habit of just answering, but then the conversation will end, so you always want to leave it with a question. Can you send me more information over email? That's fine. If you have a serious inquiry, I can give you a call with more information. What's the best time to reach you? I'll avoid it.
Do you actually send something?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I say that's fine, or I understand. That's just habit. I say that all the time. At the beginning, anytime someone gives me an objection. But I don't actually send an email. I usually just attempt to get the number. If they don't give me the number, move on. Next person. Right? So I'm not interested in anything, at least get a referral. That's what I was saying before. So, hey, that's fine. I'll be opening my own office in the next 90 days, and I'm rapidly expanding. I always find that my best people come from a direct referral. Do you happen to know any good people that might be keeping their options open? So that's my last message, my last attempt. If they're not giving me a number, they might know people. I just messaged somebody the other day. He's actually a University of Richmond alumni. And he was like, hey, I'm not really interested in working. I got a lot of things going on. I'm a teacher in the area. I was like, okay, well, I mean, would you mind just exchanging numbers? Maybe we can keep in touch. You might be able to introduce me to some people. And he said, yeah. So I got his number still anyway after. So the same thing like prospecting face-to-face, but you just, it's another form.
What's your follow-up question for the first response that you made? What's the name of your company? You say you work with another company, X, Y, and Z. What's your follow-up question?
Right. Have you heard of it before? Okay.
Like, these things like, I don't know, people that said, they asked me, like, do you have a link? Send me or something like that.
Exactly.
Right.
Right. So it's the same thing. Like, if people are making a lot of phone calls, you get a lot of the same objections. Right? So if I'm talking to someone on the phone, they say, hey, can you email me? Can you send me a link about the company? I said, well, hey, have you worked in financial services before? No. Okay, well, our company, the website that we usually have is for our clients. It's not really to explain anything about the opportunity, what we do, our pay. So usually I just like to have a conversation with you.
How do you keep track so that you're not like sending the same people the same message?
Right. So on Facebook, the great thing is, even if you message someone back in 2013, because I've seen that come up, it saves the message. Right, so if you sent them already, you'll see that you've already sent them a message.
I don't know much about Facebook.
That's fine.
When,
You can learn.
profile-wise or something like that, like, do you say, like, your job, is it kind of like LinkedIn where you talk about, like, you know, some stats about you, like, do you create something totally different? Like, I had a Facebook page, like, millions of years ago for one of the ministries I was doing, and so it's like, if I did that again, would all that stuff pop up again? Like, I mean, am I trying to portray a certain kind of image and try to keep, like, not to be friends with all kinds of Primerica people, because, you know, it's like,
Don't be friends with Primerica people, because then the only people that come across you are Primerica people, right?
A lot of times, yeah. I mean, I'm friends with Primerica people. I don't think that that makes it an issue for me. And the people that I'm sending the messages out to are random people. And so they can't, my profile is private. So they can only see a couple pieces of information on my page unless I actually accept their friend request. So when I'm sending the message, they see my picture, they see maybe where I live, and that's about it. They're not gonna see, oh, I work in financial services, how long I've been doing it, who do I know, who are all my friends. That's all private.
so you don't, like, accept a friend request for them, something like that, you can send stuff out and just have a
Correct.
private page.
Right, so until maybe I've talked to them or maybe I've recruited them, then I'll accept their friend request.
But you do have two different ones, one that's kind of more personal, and one that's more professional, or?
No, it's the same one for me. I just,
Ian Bruckner has a training page on Facebook that I'm sure lots of you know about. One of the trainings that he did, he mentioned a young man that kind of, this was like he created this, or like he was the first one to set the trend. I forgot his name. Yeah. Yeah. So on his training page, he said that it's actually not compliant to continue a conversation about getting them out for a one-on-one or anything on, like, via Facebook. The compliant thing to do is to get their number and get off of Facebook as fast as possible.
exactly. Any other questions for me? No? All right, that's all I'm doing, man. So it's just another form. You just have to.
All right, good job.
So, I want to really thank Tara and especially Shonda because I've been asking her all the questions. So, I've just been using, once they did that presentation, I've just been using that and it's all there. If you just look up, everybody has the resources. I just use the same thing. And if you know how to prospect one way, like face-to-face or cold calling, it's basically the same thing. Prospecting is prospecting. So, it's all the same as projections, right? Yeah. So Shaq asked me to talk about numbers, so I actually do a spreadsheet. So every time I send a message and I get a number back, I write their name, their number, and so these are the numbers. So I've probably sent hundreds of messages, I don't know how many, because it's so much, but since the last week of November, I've gotten 40 numbers, 24 booked, but one brought a friend, so it's 25, and 6 5 days. So, Shaq was talking about it earlier, so 24 divided by 6.
6 divided by 24. 1 and 4.
So, for every one or two weeks, and I also, like you guys talked about, I don't message anyone that's friends with anyone in the office. And when I'm sending these messages, it's all about consistency, like you guys said, 25 to 50. And you can't send more than 50 numbers, so even if you hit the limit, you can still send messages out and just put in the code. So, yeah, because sometimes I do like tabs, like first I like get a lot of different profiles, and then I send sent more than 50 messages, but I still have profiles that I need to send messages to, so I just finish it up. Does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions, like any objections? Because Shondell pretty much answered them.
Yeah, I've gotten a response where they said they didn't feel comfortable giving me their number because they get Facebook discount. And they're worried. I don't know, it was just really kind of weird. Did you ever encounter that?
No, never done it.
Block them.
Okay.
Honestly, the worst.
Yeah, so I've got people that say, like, I was looking at a guy's profile, he's very sharp, he worked in the church and ministry, and it's just like, yeah, I'm not comfortable giving my number out. So I was like, okay, well, if you're not comfortable with that, then I'll give you my number, and you can call me. I'll give you your number anyway, but if not, you can even star 69 me, I don't care. I'm gonna give you the information, so either way, we're gonna have to talk with someone.
Right. Actually, yeah, so I've had some, I could tell that that person didn't really want to give their number out, so one time I did give them my number, but they never called me.
Right.
So they're probably not gonna call me back anyway, so you just have to run my number. And I think the worst thing that, because Shaq asked me what's the worst thing that happened, there's literally nothing bad happens. The worst thing was someone blocked me, and how bad is that? Just one person out of all of these numbers, so. And I guess one last thing to help you guys, prospecting. Bill Render in an audio, he says, even a blind groundhog will find a thing.
I got this.
Great job. Both of you. So Tara, have you, I know you're studying right now, have you experienced the same numbers, or I know you did this training a couple of weeks ago, but has it been slowing down, has it been, I know, because obviously I know you're studying, so you've been slowing down with it, but it's the same, getting people out there.
Same ratios, definitely. For sure.
You can't be lazy and win in this business. You gotta you can't send some messages out. Yes, you'll have to call them. Yes, you have to follow up. You'll have to memorize the objections and copy and paste and call people and try to recruit people and bring them to the meetings and stuff like that. But why are you here, right? Aren't you here just to waste time? Aren't you here just to drive here? I mean, yeah, the office is great, but we gotta make some moves. All right, so let me kind of shift and talk about something else. All right, so I was talking to Shondell this morning. Where's who's on the board for premium? Who's at 1,000? Who's at 1,500? Who's at 2,000? Who's at 2,500? Just personal. Where you at? 7,000. Where you at? 45. Okay. So I was talking to Shondell, and I was like, oh, so where are you at? For the month. And I was asking her because I wanted to do this training this morning, and what'd you say? She was like, not good. She started feeling really bad. And I said, what? She said, you're at 1,500. Okay. So this is, and I want everybody to focus right now. Okay, this is really important, and it's an adjustment we all need to make. And for some of you guys, okay, Shondell, Josh, Matt, but everybody else too, this could be the difference for you,
when I started in the business, I was really good at recruiting people. My first month, I recruited 11 big shots. Okay? And that was my first month in the business. I recruited 11 people. And I brought 8 people back in my first meeting, and a couple of those people became RVPs. I was always good at bringing guests. I always just was great at getting people out to the office, getting them really excited to get started, and just give it a shot, just give it a shot, just give it a shot. That's all. That was my closing line. Just try it. Just try it. Just try it. And I would always just be persistent, aggressive enough, but not pushy enough to be annoying. But I was just very good with, hey, just give it a shot. And so excited, it was infectious. It was infectious how excited I was with this opportunity. But I had problems getting people in the field, getting people to district leader, closing business, going out on my own, and ultimately retaining people. And so I started to get fatigued. And somebody told me a long time ago and said, this is a kitchen table business. And I believe that was Shane Perry. He said, this is a kitchen table business. And so I just made a shift. I didn't change what I was doing, but I just made a shift to be on appointments. And from being on appointments, the magic started happening. I started making money. I started field training people. I started getting good. Then I started getting confident. And then it was a great perpetual cycle, and then I started being able to train districts, and that's why I'm where I am today. All right? Securities, F&A, commitments, closing, recruiting across the KT, referrals, and learning all the business. And so I turned my daytime business and guests and all that stuff to working out at me. Okay? So Kelvin was texting me the other day when we were talking on the phone. He goes, man. He goes, it was after Shay, you had posted on the group. He's like, man, I'm reading the group meeting. Man, and I think what did he say? He goes, oh yeah. He goes, man, Shay just went on a rampage. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, yeah, man, what happened? I go, Kel. I said, come on, man. He goes, what? I said, listen. You left Saturday. Your mom left Saturday with you. And your new recruit left too. In the most important hour of what we do. And every week, T and Shay raise their hand. 4 or 5 personal appointments set every week. 4 or 5 appointments set every week. This stuff happens when you set appointments every week. Some days you run good, right? I mean, it's just same amount of people reschedule, same pushback, same miss, right? Because I read your group meetings, oh, this person wasn't having it, so I got out of there, right? That's what we call a miss, right? You miss. Maybe, somebody comes, the husband's not there, they show up late, this, that. Look, why is it important to be on appointments for most of us in here? Why?
To make money.
Okay, but why? Okay, yeah. For most of us in here. So you can quit your freaking job. Who cares about the money? The money's great. You like working a job? You like working where you're working? You like being told what to do? Money's great. A lot of you guys don't need money. You learn how to live on no money. You have figured it out perfectly. I can live on $100 a month. Okay? You know why I needed to make money? I freaking hated my job. That's why I need to make money. I could care less about money. I want to be free from a job. So you don't have to set appointments. You're going to be at a job. That's it, period. You're going to be doing something part-time. You're going to be at that job, and you're not going to be fully free because you don't listen and you don't set appointments. There is one important hour during the week for setting appointments. So look at what happens. Just look, right? And I was talking to Shondell about this too. And I'm calling out our players here because we need leadership to do this. So I was talking to Shondell. I yelled at her, right? I got Shondell pretty bad after that training, right? She almost cried. Right? You feel bad because your dad's in the room. Don't do that, okay? I don't want him to run me over. Okay. I said, we got 45 minutes. You have a group of people here, whatever. Some of you guys get 12, 13, 9, 7, 8, right? People here. What do you think they do when they leave here? They're not thinking about Primerica. They're not thinking about this business. They're definitely thinking about calling and setting an appointment. We have them here for 45 minutes to just set appointments after they've come here for Saturday. They've given up their Saturday. You know how important for some parents, especially Saturdays are? They have their kids' games and they miss those to come here. And then some people just have other stuff that they could be doing and they come here. And you got 45 minutes to just say, look, I got 6 people, and if I can be out in the field, one day I could not have a job. And like, I know you can always quit, but you'll have to go back. But like, you can permanently never have a job. Do you know, forget the money. Do you know how great it is to be able to survive and not have a job? Just that alone. Forget the $30,000, $40,000 a month and saving money. To not have a freaking job in a world where everybody has a job. You are an eagle. You are a lion. You're the freaking king or queen of the jungle, man. But you don't set appointments, so you have money problems. And you got to have some money to do the business. You know, you have to pay a cell phone, you have to put gas in your car. You have to eat once in a while. And every freaking Saturday I talk about it, and you know, it's like, hey, we're at 15. Yeah, because you guys got to set appointments, man. And Matt said something to me yesterday, okay? And this is very logical to say this. You remember what you said? What did you say? What did he say? He said, I just have to find somebody who wants to get in the field. Because I got 5 recruits, but nope, doesn't work like that. You get in the field without recruits, don't you? You get in the field. Now, ideally, that's the best. Because that's what I thought too, Matt, I promise you. And I'm using this, like I said, I'm using Kelvin, Matt, because all of us need to just get really good at this. Because this was a big shift for me. I was like, I need to field train people. And yes, you do need to field train people. And that is the best credibility warm market. But if you don't have fun in the field, you still got to get in the field. Right or wrong? You still got to get in the field. And that's what I realized. That's why, what did I do? I was so stupid. Hey, can I shut the door? Listen, listening. No, look at me. Hey, can you help me from the service? I did 3 years. 3 years, man. 3 years. Now, I was on appointments. I only did if I didn't have appointments. And so eventually I started getting appointments. So we have, and some of you guys are talking. Some of you guys are talking the side. I can see it if, you know, I'm a regional leader. I recruit Luis. He's a district leader. He asked me a question. I still shouldn't even do that. Some of you guys talk to your friends at Primerica during the 45-minute appointment, and you're at freaking $1,500 or 0 in premium. It's like, are you sabotaging yourself on purpose? Do you not want to be on appointments? Do you like your job? Because you got one important job on Saturday, and that's to galvanize your team after training, after orientation, after and that's just to make sure your week is set up and get a jump on it. Because here, Collis Temple told me something, right? I said, Collis Temple, in 9 months he went to RVP. Okay? He gave up a $1 million replacement plan. And he went to RVP in 9 months. Like within 3 years, he was at $500 grand of income. And he before, because he was in the business when I started, so before Tanya Popo, he was like the original 10K personal guy. Like, he brought it back to do 10K personal. And I asked him, I said, you know, Collis, tell me, you know, how many appointments are you on every week? And he goes, you're not going to believe this. I said, what? He goes, I just make sure I'm on 5 KTs a week. I said, what? Because we hear Tanya Poe, and she's like 20. Because she would write 20 and 30 grand personal. Right? But Collis just goes, I just want to make sure I'm on 5 KTs a week. Now, most of us, the truth is, the people that write business in this office, they're only on 5 to 10 KTs a month. Now, there are a couple people that write over 7, 8, 9, 10,000, right? You're at what, 4,500 for the month, you're at 7,000. Yeah, they do that every week. But most of us, even our productive agents, are on 5 appointments a month. That's 1 a week. And then obviously it goes down from there. So if you need to be on 5 appointments, you just got to have 10 set on Saturday. That's for your team. And you should be able to go on 5. So you get your team together, you call them on Friday night, you say, hey, how many referrals do you have? Who are you calling? We're going to set appointments. I know tomorrow we're going to have... And you got to make sure, Luis, that I'm just on 5 this week. 7 days. By next Friday night, I have, not including Saturday, we schedule them just for 7 days. And we create a culture where people are saying, you know, Shay, it's funny because I was like, you know, if you notice this, and I know why Shay does this because she told me this before. What do? We break and we all go run and we hide in our offices. What do? You keep your office locked. Because what? We're staying right here. And we're going to set up appointments. You guys go back, and that's why, right? How many times? Okay. Don't try it. I'm an old geezer. I don't know what I'm doing in this business. And you might be right. But I know what people are doing that works. And I know what other people are doing that doesn't work. And I see the incomes of everybody. I see the premium of everybody. I see the people getting lapped and passed and doubled. And it's just, how long? I talk to my agents. I talk to people. I'm observant. I see. And yet, you know, I do training, so I'm not going to blast people. Once in a while, I'll say, hey, come on. But Saturday, we got 1 job. That's it. I tell it every week. But dadgummit, I'm telling you, in 2018, I'm not playing this shit no more. I mean it. You know, if we have to literally keep everybody in here just to set appointments, we'll do it. I don't care, but, you know, get your teams. You guys are regional leaders. You're RVPs. You guys got 1 appointment for the week. No wonder you know, and this is everybody. I'm an RVP right now, okay? I mean, in my base shop, we're at 8 grand, all right? So I'm saying this, I'm speaking to myself, but you know, you're a district leader, you're a division, you're a regional leader, you're at 1,000 or 1,500 in premium for the month, it's the 22nd. You don't feel like a regional leader. That's why when I call, and I didn't say it to ask her, I was asking her because I wanted to do a recruiting training. I go, where are you at? She goes, not good, right? And that's just the way, and we walk around with that sign. It's not that, it's, we don't do the right things, man. And from now on, when we come back from the break, that's what we're doing. I'm going to have you stand up, and obviously everybody, integrity is everything, right? Like I did last week. Hey, division, stand up. How many appointments I did for regional leaders enough, but I'll figure out a way to systematize this where that's what we're going to find out. guys start after training? Like, why would you? The Saturday's the biggest day of our week. We have an hour. You have brand new people. They gotta just set 1 or 2. And then if you're smart, say you set 5 or 6, personal or whatever, then you try to double it by Monday morning. You're good. Do you know how enthusiastic you are if you know you have 20, 30 appointments set for the week or 10 personal appointments for the week? You got 1 for the week. Ah, man, I should maybe take more shifts at my job. You know, I mean, you know, look, I don't think Primerica has to be your whole life. It was for me, and it kind of is still. Yeah, obviously, but I have kids and stuff like that, so I'm not saying that. You know, some of you guys have other things that define you. That's cool. You know, but you know, your time and who you hang with and who you spend with your time with, you know, like, you know, this is my family, the people that show up and pay the price. You know, some of you guys, like I said, I talked about, like, you'll spend time with anybody. You talk to anybody. Doesn't matter their numbers. Okay, fine, that's fine. People are more than their numbers. I believe it. Doesn't matter if they don't show up. Some people, they have legitimate reasons for not showing up. Some people, they don't give a shit about meetings. They're not good teammates. They don't show up. Some people have legitimate reasons they're not showing up. Okay, that's fine. Some people, they just don't want to show up. They don't want to make the commitment. You spend time. What do you think it's costing you? How low can your income and production go? Can it go lower? Okay, try it out. I'm not saying I like everything about this business, but I listened to the winners and my income and production went up. And I like the results. You know, who was, you were talking to me, right? And you know, Dante, I think you were talking to me yesterday about working out, right? And, you know, I'm just into it a little bit, right? You know who I work out with? You know who I talk with? Kelvin and Ember. Think about it. And me. Right? Ember was at my house the other day. You'd laugh at this, Ricky. He was at my house the other day, and he was helping me move stuff because we were trying to get the house ready to sell. So I was like, I told Ember, can you help me? And he's like, yeah. So he comes and he helps me move some stuff. And we were talking, my wife and I were talking to him. He brought a couple of people. Alex was there. You were there, right? So Alex came, and he was like, yeah, man. Because we were talking about high school basketball. Yeah, because I was a shrimp, man. He's like, I was only like 5'8", 140, and my wife just looked at me because that's what I am. Right? And he goes, no. What I'm saying was, my wife's dying laughing. Okay, you don't have to laugh that hard. Like, you can chuckle. It was funny, but like that, you know. But you think I like being around those guys? You know how freaking big they are? Like, Ember is a freaking giant, and Kelvin's like a incredible Hulk. Right? When I played basketball with good players. And the thing about basketball, because Ember and I were talking about it, basketball players, just I'm sure like good football players, they talk trash. I mean, they say things that are hurtful. Like, they really say things like good at not. It's not like that in soccer. I don't know if it's like that in lacrosse, but basketball and football, like, man, I mean, they will say stuff, have you rethinking your whole thing. Like, I don't want to play this sport. Like, it's so intense to play with good players, especially on the basketball court. I mean, they, you know, I remember sometimes, like, we go, and once in a while we go up against, you know, teams in DC, and it's just like not fair. You know, they're just better, they're quicker, they're playing for their life out there. You know, and I mean, you just, I'm the point guard. I was passing. I was like, Coach, I'm hurt. Take me out. Like, it's just so freaking tough to play. But that's how you get good, man. That is how you get good. I know you guys want to hang out with people that make you feel really comfortable. Shondell, you are amazing. Really? Okay. How do you do it? Josh, you're hanging around with too many people who think you're off. Matt, money man.
You better change your surroundings, man. You better change. Hey, we need, tomorrow, our normal, and if Shay, think about it for Shay, right? And Shay, I'm saying this because I care about you, and both of you guys, like, if you want to go on 5, you gotta have 10 personal set, right? So 5 it's the best here, but it ain't enough, right? But if we had beneficiary referrals to call, if we had referrals to call, if we had top 25 from recruits to call, if we had interviews that we were following up with, Facebook prospects, all this, we could do it. 1 appointment is the minimum for part-timers. For full-timers, 4 to 6. For a freaking stud part-timer, stud full-timer should be 10 personal set, because then you're going to go on 5. That's just the numbers. We have to change tomorrow for appointment setting. Okay, and I know it's Christmas and stuff like that, and right, Christmas is Monday. Okay, so I get it. But Tuesday after that, right? We should tear it up, man. We should kill it. All right. So tomorrow we have licensing class, not this Saturday, next Saturday, wherever we decide on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So make sure we get people registered. If you have, Rodney's texting me right now, if you've qualified for the bowling alley, let us know. Because we have to get the head count. If you don't let us know, that's it. Okay? Because we have to get all the stuff for that. It's December 30th at 6 o'clock, Uptown Alley. All right? Text Ratna. If you want to text me, that's fine, but I prefer you text her, so I'm just going to forward your text. If you'd like to bring somebody and they didn't qualify, they can pay their own way, but you can tell us so they can be part of our group discount and all that stuff. That's fine. If like a partner, not a third Primerica, because they have to qualify. All right. We're gonna have a great time next Saturday. We have training tomorrow. Bring your referrals and make this adjustment. When we break, you make phone calls and you blitz. And I will ask you how many appointments you have set for the week by next Saturday. And that's where our Saturdays are headed. To the Top Gun and who's setting the most appointments. All right? Any questions about anything we've gone over?